This is the most costly time to borrow money in over 22 years. And one of the biggest things right now with interest rates in the Fed hiking it to over 5.5% is it's positioning commercial real estate to be in financial distress, more so than it's been since 2012. July of 2012 was the highest delinquency rate that we had seen in the commercial sector in years. And with it being at 5% today, we're pushing into highs that we haven't seen in delinquencies since 2012. Now, don't be alarmed by all of the delinquencies as of yet. We're still less than half of where we were in July of 2012, where it hit over a 10.5% delinquency rate in commercial real estate. We're still only at 5% today, but higher than we've been since that time. Now, look, understand, one of the biggest things right now is how it's going to affect the real estate market and how to position yourself to not get affected by it. And what's the reason behind this, right? And what's the main reason so you can protect yourself from positioning yourself to not be affected by it directly or indirectly. And with office space and commercial real estate being the biggest ploy of commercial real estate that has been at the brinks of financial collapse, the biggest contributor to that is the fact that since 2020, it's been catastrophic as to how many people refuse to go back to the office. And with inflation being at an all-time high and the Feds trying to control inflation, one of the biggest things that's happened with interest rates going up is that it's positioned tenants and professional corporations in a position where they can't afford to service the rental income and the debt on these properties any longer. And so pushing delinquencies to an all-time high since 2012. Now look, where does the opportunity lie if it's not in office or commercial real estate right now? Now let's back up a second, because I said, where does the opportunity lie if it doesn't exist there? In my professional opinion, in my professional experience, is that where there is financial distress, there's opportunity. So one of the big things that most people want to do right now that are investing in real estate, don't look at this on a macro scale of problems. Look at this on a micro scale of how you can benefit from this downturn. With office prices going down so low, we're picking up properties as low as $40 a square foot on real estate that you can't build for that price. But you can position yourself to buy it at such a discounted rate, you can renovate it where it's appeasing for the end user to be able to come in and lease at a reasonable rate. And because you buy it for such an inexpensive rate, because nobody's going to buy it, nobody's going to lend on it, and nobody is going to strategically pay overpriced asset prices on real estate that's financially distressed. So as financial institutions want to shake this stuff off, go and collect some insurance money and then reposition themselves for future holdings that are going to position themselves for earnings and long-term wealth, gives you an opportunity to take a look at small office, small retail, small commercial assets that you can bite off that's palatable at reasonable prices, where you can position them at reasonable lease rates, where now they're appeasing to the end user for profitability. Now look, we've been exercising this since 2000 when I bought my very first financially and physically distressed retail property, and we've been exercising this every year since. And for those of you guys that think that the market has completely collapsed, it's never going to come back, it's just going to come back at a different financial return than it was before, where some of these office buildings were renting for $25 a square foot. Some of them were going for an excess of $40 or $50 a square foot in prime markets. Now you can go in and buy and pick some of this stuff up where you can position yourself to lease these at $10, $12, and $15 a square foot, where they're unheard of rent rates that never existed because of where market values were and the desirability of owning these assets. You can go in and position yourself to leverage them for an inexpensive price and lease them for a discounted rate and position yourself for profits long term. If you don't believe me, take a look at some of the assets that we have invested in over the years. One of the big things right now is having validation that this really exists and this is really out there. Well, just follow our content. One of the big things right now is I'm standing in one of our multifamily developments that we're building in such a distressed time. These assets are desirable because it's in more of the strategic affordable housing model where there's an asset class that's needed in such abundance that there's a shortage of rooftops and in high demand. There is an asset class out there for you guys to pay attention to, whether it's office, retail, or any commercial real estate, including affordable housing, ladies and gentlemen. The multifamily sector will get hit as well. I'm trying to give you guys 20,000 different things all at once, guys. There's so much in my mind going, there's opportunity here, there's opportunity there. So look, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for assets to invest in, they're all over the place. And one of the things is, it's not whether you should be investing in a time where we're in a downturn market, it's what you should be investing in. One of the things I've learned about investors is that when the market is high, they're scared because the market's high. But when the market's low, they're scared because the market's low and there's unforeseen variables of when it's going to come back and if they're investing in the right asset class. It's not whether you should be investing right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's what you should be investing in. And what you should be investing in is either heavily financially distressed assets at a time where we have about a 2-year window on financially distressed assets, and it's real and it's coming your way. And most people are sitting back going, Jerome, how do I find this stuff? How do I go out and strategically find all of this stuff that Market Watch, CNN, CNBC, Forbes magazine, USA Today, and all of these professional publications are talking about? They're through relationships. And one of the biggest things that most people don't do is they don't network enough. It's like planting seeds in a garden, ladies and gentlemen. When you are looking for assets like this, everything you do, everywhere you go, you need to be speaking about your interest in investing in assets just like that. That doesn't mean that every asset that's going to come your way is going to be strategically the one that you want to buy or invest in or be a part of. In fact, the vast majority of what comes your way is probably going to be not something you want to buy. But without planting those seeds and harvesting an influx of people bringing you deal flow, you'll never get those assets. So people ask me, Jerome, how do you find them? They're from driving around, strategically going around and finding and becoming familiar with my neighborhoods, where I live, where I work, where I play, and calling the owners, the brokers of those assets for deal flow. Going to meetups, financial meetups, go to Eventbrite, going to these places where I can strategically position myself around other investors that also have deal flow that maybe they don't have the financial resources or outreach to get a deal done. That's where you may come into play. But position yourself where they're bringing you deals is what's most important. Brokers, banks, and real estate professionals only have the bandwidth so far, ladies and gentlemen, to carry themselves through all of these financial distress times. And they're looking for people just like you and just like me to take advantage of buying distressed assets and repositioning them. And so at an unforeseen time where most people are running from the market, it's time for you to settle down and charge at this market head on. We have opportunities that we may not see in our professional careers again, especially someone as old as I am that's pushing in their 50s. I may not want to be doing this game in my late 60s or 70s or something. I might want to be doing something else. The time is now. This can strategically position most investors to take advantage of larger profits than they ever will in any other time in history. But the only way you're going to do it is to position yourself to earn and learn. And learning from content just like this. Click below, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and give us a thumbs up if you like content and want to be notified when more content just like this is being produced. But position yourself in commercial real estate that's financially distressed and you can buy at massively discounted prices. But to learn what those massively discounted prices are, click below, follow our content, and learn how you can strategically position yourself for future earnings and in future markets that'll position yourself for massive wins and passive residual income. I'm going to recommend a video right behind this that you're going to want to see. It's either below or above me that will position yourself to learn how to invest strategically in the right assets at the right time in today's current market. Click below, watch more content, and I look forward to seeing you next time.